PocaTV Wenzzzday.
Hey,
Yeah.
how
Yay.
you doing?
Yay.
How you,
Yay. We're back, DJ. Oh, I missed
right?
this last week.
Yeah, man, me too. We had a week's break. A week's yeah.
A little break because I worked Ting and all of that. But we're back. Hooray with the Wenzzzday Ting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enough things are going on this week, right? A lot of things happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So today, what we'll be talking about, you and I, is two different topics as usual. You will be starting with the gymnastics racist scandal that is actually a year old, but it has now hit the social media and everybody's kind of worked up about it. And, we've had the question and the remark that it's always very sad what we talk about. So I thought, you know what, let's just do a little tiny little workshop on the length and the breadth of dreadlocks. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And I suggest that you start the show.
Okay.
It's all yours.
So as you're probably aware, because it's over mainstream media everywhere, this is a story of a gymnastics event in Ireland that happened in March 2022. And it involved some of the contestants were children.
Mhm.
And during a medal award ceremony, where the children were all in a line and the medals were being presented, all the children apart from one child was black, and the black girl, they were all girls, and the black girl was kind of in the middle somewhere of the line. And the person who was awarding the medals just decided just to blank the black girl and not give her a medal, and just went on to the next person who was white
All right.
and gave her a medal, and so on.
Of course, we have the video. Let's take a look, DJ. Let's go straight deep into the whole thing and be disgusted, all of us.
Yeah. I mean, every time I see it, it gets more heart-wrenching, because you see the expression of the black girl, and we should point out that her name is being kept out of the news, so we don't even know her name.
No, we shouldn't even look for it. Let's just protect
exactly.
her innocence and her privacy. Yeah.
But there, towards the beginning of that, shortly after she was shunned, I think that's the right word, the photographer, it looked like he was saying something to her or the girl next to her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was obviously clear. The photographer could see that she didn't have a medal around her neck. Why didn't the photographer mention that to the medal award person? And what's going on there?
Well, he was doing his own work, maybe is what I'm thinking. And, in all the throng. And I actually saw that as well. That he went up to her and she answered him with a face like, I don't know. And you can see her looking around.
No, yeah, I know. Not only that, you could see some of the other girls to the right of the line looking back. They were
Yes.
like, "What's going on? Why hasn't she got
And
her medal?"
the girl to her right says something to her. So,
Yes.
but you know how these things go, DJ. You don't think it's up to you to do anything. That's how these things work.
If I was that photographer, I would have said something. I don't care if it's not part. It's not my job to do that. I would have said something.
Well, so would I. It even
Yeah.
looked to me for a while that the woman hanging those medals around the girl's necks even said something to the little black girl, but I'm not sure about that.
Well, because when she stood, when it was her turn,
Mm-hmm.
and she stood in front of her, and there was a 1 maybe 2 second period of time where she didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
You
almost
want
like,
to look at the start again? Just
yeah.
the start of it.
Let's
See if
rewind
that
that part.
works. Yeah, let's see if we can get it together. Yeah. Okay. Here it comes. Oh.
Well, how can she? For that, okay. So for those that don't know, the conclusion to this is there's been an investigation which has taken 18 months. Incredible. That's why it's in the news now, because
Mm-hmm.
the statement from Gymnastics Ireland has just been publicised, just been released,
Mm-hmm.
and their conclusion is that it wasn't intentional. It was an innocent mistake. How on
That's what
earth?
everybody always says, as if that's an excuse.
But looking at that,
Rosalind Sear already got me to my core. In tears I was, she
yeah,
says. Hi, Rosalind. Yes.
hi Rosalind. Yeah, me too. Every time I watch it, I feel it in my heart.
DJ, the
And
thing, it wasn't my intention. We got to stop using that
but
as an
hold on,
excuse.
watch the video. How can that person? Here's the video of you standing there, not giving her a medal, and standing there for a couple of seconds before you move on to the next girl who you did give a medal to. How can
Mm-hmm.
you realistically say that your defense is it wasn't my intention? What, does she just have a mental block? That's it?
Maybe she's one of those people who don't see color. That means she never even saw the girl. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I didn't want to say that because that would be ridiculous. I would have thought to
But
say
that it
that.
is ridiculous. But it's always the same story. Hi, Donna. She's saying hi. Hi,
Oh, hey,
Donna.
Donna.
Thanks for
Yeah.
watching. Yeah. Um.
Yeah, go on.
No, you go on. It's your topic.
Well, I just find it as the other astounding thing is that the statement from Gymnastics Ireland said that after the ceremony, the parents of the black girl complained
Yeah.
that it was a racist. They accused them of being racist.
They rightfully calling them out, not accusing.
Absolutely calling them out, and that led to Gymnastics Ireland and the parents entering into mediation.
Mediation.
And, well, we know what the word means, and this is
Mm-hmm.
why I'm going like this,
Mm.
inverted commas. And the conclusion of that mediation is that there was a successful resolution, but we don't know what that resolution is.
When
So
did this resolution come about? Do we know that?
that's recent, hence the release of the statement now. That's why it's been released now, because they have resolved it. That's my understanding of the topic.
So it took a year and a quarter for them to come to a resolution,
Year
and we
and a
don't
half,
know
18 months, a year and a half. Yeah.
18 months. There you go.
Yeah.
So, okay, break that down for me. Why does it take a year and a half to come up with anything?
Well, first of all, what is there to mediate? It happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
What were they talking about in those mediation meetings? No, seriously.
But it wasn't my intention to skip the little girl.
Yeah, but that took 18 months.
That took 18 months. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
What is the status of this thing right now?
Well, what I said, that the parents seem to have agreed to whatever resolution it was that they made, and we don't know what that is. the lady awarding the medals has still got her job. She wasn't sacked. Whether she was reprimanded or not, I suspect, going by the statement, she wasn't reprimanded, and they just sided with her and said, "Okay, it was an innocent mistake. These things happen. Get on with, onwards and upwards," kind of thing.
Yeah, and let's try to bury it, which didn't work out, did it?
Well, no,
Ross says not intentional. I see a pattern here. Is it planned? Is it a media hype? Is it to incite hatred? It's all of that. It's all of that, Ross. Or
yeah,
do you think?
Go on.
No, I'm asking Ross. Do you mean that by publicizing this video now, it's somebody's plan to incite hatred? Is that what you're asking, Ross? I think it's just one of those leaks things that somebody got their hands on the video and threw it on Twitter, which is what happened.
Yeah, but so were you, Poca? Were you suggesting that whoever posted it first to make it go viral, did it because they supported what happened?
No, not from what I saw on social media. Everybody posting the video was totally outraged. So
no, I mean whoever was first, because there must have been it must have been the original post before it
must
got
have
shared.
been. Yeah, I have no idea who was the original one, because these days everybody can.
Exactly.
Yeah. So here we are talking about gymnastics, right?
Yeah.
These are all really cool pictures. You must know that I'm a gymnastics, what's the word?
Fan.
That's too small. Almost obsessed with it. I used to do a little of it, but I could only do floor things. I couldn't do the rest. And before I go to sleep every night, I watch some gymnastics, just because I wonder how it is that people do these things. But hold on, let me see. Donna says something. Donna says a year and a half to come up with a face-saving response. Isn't that what they always do? Right. Yeah. And even that didn't work out, because nobody saved any face. It's all over the place, and
it's not, and it's not even it's not even a justifiable defense. It's not a defense. It's not realistic. Everyone's seen the video. How can you? It's not a defense.
It is not. It definitely is not. Let me put up the QR code quickly, DJ, for people maybe in Ireland. Hi, Irish people. If you're watching and you have an idea on what you think about this whole thing, kindly scan that QR code and join us here in the studio and tell us what you think about this whole thing, and how it looks worldwide. What the reputation of Ireland is going to be after this, because we're going to blame the entire country of Ireland, because this just won't do, and just giving the woman a slap on the wrist is not going to resolve this. So either scan the QR code, or if you're on a laptop, head over to the URL Wenzzzday 14 and join us here in the orange room until we pull you up. All right, that's always the open invitation for anybody, wherever you are on the world, in whatever time zone you are, to just join us here live on the Wenzzzday Ting. Let us try to put all of this into perspective, DJ. Going back to the early 70s and before that time, gymnastics looked like this, if you remember correctly.
Yeah,
we had
Nadia Comaneci, yes. Gymnasts, yeah.
Nadia Comaneci in Romania, Olga Korbut in the then USSR, probably say Russia now. Maybe she was from Kazakhstan, I don't know, but USSR. Eastern European women kind of dominated the sport. After the Eastern European women, it was always the Americans and maybe one Irish person and one something. It was a very white sport, is what I'm trying to get at. It took many years before just a snippet of color creeped into world gymnastics, especially with the women. Do you remember that, DJ?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you watch gymnastics in those years?
Yeah, I used to. Well, in the Olympic Games, yes. That's when that Olga Korbut was famous, and Nadia
Mhm.
Comaneci for winning countless gold medals in the
Yeah,
Olympics back then.
yeah,
So that's probably most people's introduction to those people.
exactly. Nadia was the first one to get a solid 10 on anything. That was
Okay.
like a
But
huge
I think
moment.
Olga Korbut was a game changer. It got more people interested in
Yeah,
taking up gymnastics. Yeah.
right. Which
Mm.
happened, and people who don't look like Nadia or Olga started wanting to do gymnastics as well and came onto this world stage. First of them being the Chinese women.
Wow, look at that.
I know. Now, do you remember what happened when the Chinese people started being champions on the gymnastics field?
No.
Ah, if you even Google China women gymnastics, most of what you're going to see is stories that hit the newspapers in those years, all about, are those girls really the age they say they are? They look like they're 9 years old. No wonder they can jump that high and all of. So that was the first part of exclusion of gymnasts. It was no longer the white Eastern Europeans and the Americans. Here come Asian girls, and all of a sudden, the whole conversation is about their age, not about the fantastic stuff they do. And yes, I know in China, training regimes are extremely harsh, but that's another topic. That is not a way to exclude young women by suddenly talking about their age. What did you make
True.
of that when that happened?
Yeah. As I said, I don't remember that happening. I
Oh,
don't
you
remember
don't?
that. No,
You
I
don't
really
remember?
don't.
You don't remember it always being about the age of the Chinese women?
When was that? Oh, I don't even remember when.
80s, 90s,
No,
today.
I don't remember that at all. Sorry.
Okay. Well, if you Google it, you'll see that I'm right.
Yeah. No,
So,
I'm not disputing it. Yeah. Yeah.
mhm. Anyway, as I was saying, it was elite. So it took a good while for other people to start joining. In fact, it was 87 or 88 when the very first Black gymnast came to the front in the United States. It even made the news.
And right now, meet the Prince George's County native who broke barriers at the University of Nebraska as their first black gymnast. Racine Williams started dabbling in gymnastics as a teenager, but caught on very fast. And after turning heads in Maryland in high school, she went to the University of Nebraska, where she persevered through minor racial incidents while she blazed a new trail. Williams advised to anyone out there thinking of trying something groundbreaking, simply do it.
You can make your dreams come true. And for little black and brown girls who are in the gym working out, absolutely anything is possible. Just keep striving and striving, find the environment that works for you, the coach and the team that works for you, and you can achieve anything you wish.
So this was actually not a news report. This was 2021 during Black Achievement Month, and they
Right.
did a recap of what happened in '87.
Yeah.
The footage of Racine Williams is from
Mm.
'87.
And
So
you and I had this little chat off air before we came on air, and I made a remark saying, but in 1987 you had black women sports people competing in many other sports before 1987, and men and
mhm,
women as well. But you
mhm,
made the point, but not for elite sports, and that
exactly.
um,
So
so
that's the
maybe that's
difference.
worth pointing out, because elite sports are those sports where you basically need funds, you need money to be
Mhm,
able to learn those and to
mhm.
train in those. And
Yeah,
gymnastics is one of those, like tennis, for example.
like
Yeah,
tennis, exactly. Swimming, even
yeah.
hockey, those kind of
Hockey,
sports.
really? I didn't realize.
Hockey,
Oh,
hockey is a
because that's
money
a team.
sport,
That's a team game. Hockey.
but
I
it's
thought
money.
team
It's
games were
at least
different.
in the Netherlands, it's money. I don't know if
Oh,
it's
okay, okay.
elsewhere. Yeah,
But
but
these are individual non-team sports.
yeah,
That's one of the key things, I think. That
But
makes it an elite sport.
money has always been a way to keep out black people from participating in anything.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
even if you did have money, I remember those things happening in my life. I had the money, but then there was always something, you know, if they want to exclude you, they're going to exclude you. So it's either something with your hair, or you're wearing the wrong shoes, or you're supposed to come with two women, or where's the white guy to escort you? All of that that all happens.
Yeah.
So, but Racine Williams did make it, and at least she made it to that Nebraska team. And the fact that it was a big to do says enough in my book, doesn't it? Yeah. So I'm still thinking about the little black girl in Ireland, and I hope she knows that gymnastics have drastically changed, and it keeps on changing. I mean, if we think back to the 1970s where every gymnast was white, and you look at it now, you want to look at it now?
When you have the American black woman Simone.
But it's not just Simone. Let's have a look at the best gymnasts in the States right now.
Mix and match compilation, nice one. I like the soundtrack. It sounds familiar. It's probably
doesn't it?
I probably have that tune. I don't know.
Well, you do, because I teeped it from one of your consciousradio.net shows. Yeah. Murderous Dub. Right?
Still doesn't mean anything to me. Okay.
Oh, it's the Akabeka tune, DJ. The Murderous Dub to the Akabeka tune.
Oh, let there be peace. Right.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
So I'm here again talking about the black girls now doing gymnastics. And what really irritated me about this whole thing that went on in Ireland, if you don't mind me taking over this part of the show, what really irritated me is that people on social media were calling out for Simone Biles, the greatest of all times, gymnast ever, man, female, woman, grandmother, whatever, best ever. And they are calling on her specifically to reach out to the little girl in Ireland, which she did. She did that of her own accord. But the fact that people are calling out specifically to Simone Biles is racist.
Well, it is. I question who are these people that are calling.
Not people.
Simone Biles out, but the white people, no doubt.
Why does it have to be a black person reaching out to the black girl? Explain that to me. You are white. Why? What goes on in white people's heads when they think that way?
Because that's a very divisive divisive approach as well. Because you're saying only a black person can stand up for a black person.
Exactly.
It's divisive. Mine's gone.
Divisive.
Yeah, no, I know. I was going to say something else though. I was going to say why haven't unless I'm mistaken, the people who run the sport, gymnasts, even the International Olympic Committee. I know it's not an Olympic situation, but it's
the International Gymnastics Association. There must be something like that.
They should be on board with this. They should be expressing, their criticism of this.
Yeah.
And saying this is wrong, and this is unacceptable,
Hmm.
and the whole thing is completely unacceptable. Even
It is.
look, the Prime Minister of Ireland should say something. Who is
The,
white, obviously,
the
but
Prime Minister of Ireland should invite the little girl and her friends, but give the girl,
yeah,
the top billing that day and invite them to lunch and give them pancakes and put the girl in the spotlights. That's what
yeah,
should be happening.
yeah, man. But
And
I
and
don't,
not
I don't think
and not a black gymnast from the United States be called upon to right this wrong.
exactly because uh, critics would say, well, this is sport and politics. We don't want to mix politics with sport, but sport is politics, like it or not. It is
Exactly.
politics.
Sport is nothing else than politics and making
Yeah,
money. That's what sport is.
yeah,
Not
yes,
not
exactly.
not to the people doing the sport, but to the whole
No,
apparatus surrounding the
for the
people doing the
people
sport.
running the sport, the people running
Yes.
the sport, the people
Yeah,
doing the
right.
sport are just the little pawns that
No, no, and they want to run fast and jump from double bars and all of that. That's they
yeah,
sports people just want to challenge themselves. It's the vultures that surround them.
yeah.
Those are the ones that need to
Well,
be held
it's
accountable.
it's the Nikes and Adidases of this world who sponsor a lot of the kits that they wear. I didn't know. I
Yeah.
didn't look for that, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's some
Well,
sponsorship going on there.
sure. Well,
So
Nike
they should,
Nike isn't even the worst in that regard. But the organization of this event, they should do something. They should call out this woman. Then the gym association should do something. The
well,
Prime Minister of
the
Ireland should.
organisation of the event, being Gymnastics Ireland, have done. They think they've done their bit by saying we conducted an investigation and it was an innocent mistake, and mediation has taken place, and the parents are now satisfied.
What
That's
would have happened if it was the other way around? Let's say, for example, okay,
oh,
we're doing a
if a white
let's let's just play with this. We're talking about male football. Let's take France team. Remember when they won the thingy, the World Cup? It was a completely black team that won the cup with one white guy. What
that was the
if that
goal. That was
day?
the goalkeeper, the white guy. Yeah.
What if that day, when everybody got their medals hung, the goalkeeper didn't get his? What would have happened in this world? I'm asking you.
Well, hold on. There's two answers to that. It depends if the person awarding the medals was black or white. If the person who was awarding the medal was white, it would be seen as an innocent mistake. If the
Mm,
person awarding the medals was black, then it would be perceived as reverse racism almost, black on white.
I can't
You
even
with me?
speak now. I'm with
Are you
you,
with
but I
me?
can't even. Yes, I am, but I can't even speak because you said
Yeah.
reverse racism. There is no
Oh,
such thing.
sorry. Wrong phrase. Wrong phrase.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
me see what Donna has to say. Donna says, not just a revolution in race and color, it's the body type that comes with that. Yes, they're always going on and on about black women actually being men. Although, as someone who is fascinated with the sports, I'm not sure about the last part, just my personal preference. Yes, Donna. It's what? I'm gonna add a little something to that because from the moment we've seen that in swimming, we've seen it in tennis, we've seen it in gymnastics, we've seen it in every single sport. From the moment that we allow black people into the sport, that's it. They take over. And I think a little of that is seeping through in this. You can respond to that, DJ, while I drink water to calm down my nerves.
You mean envy, jealousy, and so
Yes,
that's a motive. That's what you're saying to do this
it's
kind
one
of
of the
thing.
reasons. It's one
Well,
of the reasons.
well,
Could be.
you mentioned the France World Cup team. I was watching a match yesterday. Manchester United playing Crystal Palace, and 9 of the Crystal Palace of the 11 players were black. And it's happening in most sports.
It's happening in
In
every sport. Once
Look at American football. It's actually been happening a long time in American football.
it's can you name one sport where it hasn't happened?
No, not really. Ping pong? I don't know. Table tennis? I don't know.
That's totally Asian, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
mm,
I mean, look, boxing. I mean, black people have dominated boxing from time. From time.
from before time.
Yeah, from before time.
Yeah.
Um, football, we know.
Athletics,
Athletics,
football.
definitely.
Yes. Hmm.
Even tennis, to an extent. There are successful black players.
Hmm.
In look at the Williams sisters, classic example.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
dominated it.
Etc.
Um,
Etc.
yeah,
So I think
exactly.
that's what it boils down to. It boils down to jealousy. It boils down to pettiness and what happened to the little black girl in Ireland.
So
There is
you
no
think
other.
that? So you're suggesting that the woman who was awarded, who shunned her with the medal, did it out of envy, because she wasn't happy that a black person was being
I
was
don't
getting
know.
a medal.
I don't know what her motives were. I don't know, and I don't really care. A fact is, she stood before the little girl and didn't see her.
Mm,
You can call that what you want,
yeah.
but it starts with R and it ends with acist.
Yeah, I know. She didn't see her, but she was practically talking to her. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
So we're
um,
gonna monitor this thing and see what happens in the
but
future.
as
If
ever,
anything,
the key thing is learn from it.
they will never
Lessons
learn.
lessons need to be learned from these kind of things. Otherwise,
But
what's the
that's what
point?
we always say, and we don't
Mhm.
learn. We don't learn. We don't learn,
So,
DJ. Do we learn? Have we learned anything from anything?
there's no hope. That's what we're saying.
I keep coming back to that. There really is no hope.
All
It's a
right.
good thing you and I are friends. That at least keeps us going.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
switch
Okay.
topics, DJ. Let's switch topics.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, let me remind our lovely viewers, people, join the fun. Let me remind our lovely viewers that the second topic is one that I came up with, and it was because Rosalind asked us last time, could we once in a while do something that wasn't about capitalism, racism, and patriarchy? Well, I came up with dreadlocks, the length and breadth of it, and I thought, I'd take you through some of the things I know about dreadlocks. Are you at all interested in that, DJ?
I am. Yeah. Even though I don't have locks myself, it's a subject that does interest me.
What is
Yeah.
it that you know about dreads? Well, the world at large came to know about dreads, of course, when Bob Marley became the superstar that he was. That's when most people in the world,
Yeah.
for the first time in their lives, saw dreadlocks, right?
But we know that dreadlocks have been around long before Bob, long before reggae, long before Rastafarianism.
Exactly.
Marcus Garvey. It was it was back in the times of the pharaohs in Egypt and in India and
All
probably in
right.
Africa as well.
Well, I found a lovely little video of our highly esteemed Muta Baruka taking us through, the peoples and cultures that have from the beginning of time had dreadlocks on their hair, on their heads. Here we go.
We want to talk to the people them about locks and the different nations, groups, tribes. We have locks. Because most of the first time we hear about locks was Samson in the Bible, we have locks. And then we hear about other people, but we never identify them as such. Now, you have a group of people in India, them call themselves Sadhus. You can go check it out. Sadhus is a Hindu branch religion where right across India you find these sadhus, and them not only locks, but them smoke ganja. Them smoke ganja. Them not get arrested for it because everybody knows it's part of them religious practices. But the sadhus is a very important part of how even ganja reach on here, so because the Indian them as indentured labels come on here, so And a lot of them bring them culture and practices and all them something there. But the first time I actually see a dreadlocks in a magazine was when them called in the Bartaway. The Bartaway was or is some laxman in Ethiopia. We living at the hills, very religious. Don't go tell them come out of the hills, it's for warn and judgment pan all the politicians them and the king. And then go back up in them hills. Very respected set of people, the Bartaways. The next group of people I go amongst and I realize Rastafari is not a unique group of people when it comes on to locks. Because you have so much different set of people that locks in the world. Yeah. It's just that we're not exposed to them and them culture. Well, the Bafal is a group of Muslims in a Senegal who recognize Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Well, you might not have heard of these people, but you can go check it out, Sheikh Ahmadou Bamba. Them recognize him as a great prophet. We've been there in Senegal and go amongst them. But them is Muslims, the Bafals in Senegal. In the Aboriginal group in Australia, them have locks. Them have locks. Now I was told that Rastaman get them locks. Well, it's two different versions of it. Because in a number 6 it tell you say, no razor shall come upon your head, neither shall you have strong drink nor anything from vine until the days of your separation. A whole heap of people say it's this how Rastaman get them idea of locks from. And next version of it is that during the time of the Mama uprising, a whole heap of you might not know about the Mama uprising, but then you can check that too. In Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta, who was known as the Burning Spear, that is where Winston Rodney get him name from the former president of Kenya. Him named Jomo Kenyatta, and them call him the Burning Spear. Him lead uprising against the British, and them call him Mama. And a whole heap of them did locks. And Rastaman seen these people fighting against white supremacy and colonialism in Kenya, decided that the imagery was part of that image where they would adapt.
Interesting, huh?
As ever, Muta has lots of different perspectives on things, and it always makes sense. It always fits together, doesn't it? He's incredible like that.
He is, and he's very credible too.
No, completely. And I'm glad he mentioned the fact that it was India that's how ganja got introduced to Jamaica. It was not indigenous to Jamaica. Marijuana was not. It was the Indians.
Yes, yeah. The Sadhu. We must now know the name. The Sadhu and the Bahitawe and the Bayafal. See, that's where you can go and look up stuff. So dreads, of course, dreads have a political meaning as well, don't they? That's why they're called dreads. Remember, it's the white people call them dreadlocks, right? They were called locks in the Bible and everywhere else.
Well, I mean, look, if you're going to be face to face with the Mau Mau soldier, you're going to be worried. So that's going to be fear.
Yeah. So nowadays, locks are still, for many people, they are still, a spiritual thing. And I, for one, I know that when I cut them off, I feel different. I feel it's almost like that Samson story. I feel weaker. I feel tired. Right. I feel less belligerent and ready to. So
you feel when you do have your locks, you feel stronger and perhaps even more confident in things.
Yes, more confident, and I think that stems from at least when I started my locks, which is a good while ago. Yeah. And remember, I was a newsreader at the time, television newsreader, and I had locks. And I still say to this day, I was the first dreadlocks newsreader in the world. I can't prove it, but I've never seen anybody else. I've seen people with tiny braids. I've seen people with twists. I've seen people with all heap of thing, but not dreadlocks. And I know it was a big thing when I did that here. Many people liked it. And then, of course, there were some newspapers writing about the shame of it and what was my boss thinking. And I know my boss he didn't really like it because when I had to sign a contract there that if I were to change something drastically about my appearance, I had to talk to it about it with my superiors. And one day I gave them a call and I said, I'm thinking about cutting off my dreadlocks. DJ, the pace with which they said, yes, do that. Comparing me to Whoopi Goldberg, they were comparing me to Angela Davis, the
civil
activist,
rights, civil rights,
civil
movement.
rights, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do know that I like my hair short, but I feel different.
So
Um,
when you first went on TV with your locks, did they not make any remarks then and say that's unacceptable or something like that?
Well, to be honest, I had left the newsroom and they gave me a call saying, do you want to come back? And I told them, sure, I'll come back. But you have to know I got dreadlocks now. And like I said, there's laws in the Netherlands. They cannot say, okay, then we're not going to ask you.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
That's that when that kind of thing normally happens. They try and find another reason to not.
yeah,
to
but maybe I
not
was the best
find.
newsreader. They just wanted me back.
Well, there you
Or
go.
maybe even they wanted to make a point to the outside world. Look here, we got one of those. I don't know.
We're racially inclusive kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's maybe that's what they were thinking. But like I said, the rate at which they said, yeah, man, cut them off. I knew they were really happy when I did that.
Right.
So
Well,
dress these days.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Tell me what volumes it speaks.
Well, the fact that they were so happy when you said you were going to cut them off, it basically backs up what we were just saying.
Yeah, it does.
You know, it's a racist thinking.
Yeah. So these days, not everybody has them for spiritual reasons. It's quite a statement to have dreadlocks now. You get them in all colors, in all sizes, in all shapes.
But it's fashion as well. It's become fashion.
It is fashion, yeah.
Mm.
And then of course there's this ongoing discussion about.
Is that you? The
Yeah, the
bottom
black
one
and
in
white
black
picture
and
is
white?
me. Yeah,
I
that's my
thought it
hair.
was. Yeah.
I know. Doesn't my hair look great though? But
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
always this this discussion going on about whether or not white people should wear locks.
Why not?
That's what I usually say, because to be honest, 2000 years ago everybody had locks because we didn't
Yeah,
have
exactly.
scissors and we didn't have combs, and
Live and
once
let
you don't
live.
cut your hair and don't comb it, it's gonna lock.
Yeah.
And then there's always the Viking story, but I was looking up on that and it's not totally sure that they actually had locks. So I'm taking out the Viking story as a reason why white people should be able to wear locks.
I guess you have to also think about the science. Physically, what is it that causes hair to locks in the first place?
Well, if you don't go shampooing your hair and putting in your conditioner and combing it and cutting it all the time, your hair will mat.
Exactly.
It's the natural state of hair.
Exactly. Going back to Neanderthal times, the caveman. They didn't have salons and stylists or anything.
Right.
They got to a point where they realized we should at least trim our hair because it's getting too heavy on us and it's blocking our eyesight and things like that. But but seriously, if you go back to those times, but
yes,
it would have the hair would have naturally loxed. Is that the term? Yeah, it would have loxed. So it goes back to the first humans. It must do.
I think so.
It must do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
we know, and we're pretty sure the first humans on Earth were in Africa.
Sure, but like you said, Neanderthals had locks. In ancient China, they had locks. In India, they had locks. Aboriginals had locks. Everybody has locks. I think it's the natural state of hair. That's what I think.
It is. If you don't do anything with your hair, if you don't wash it, you don't comb it, you don't go to the barbers or hairdressers, you just let it do what it does naturally, it will eventually locks.
Yes, and it will not lock the way mine is, because I know Mutabaruka would be punishing me for Muta says these are, and he's right. These are made locks. These are, perfectly organized around my head, and they are, well kept and all of that. Styled.
Yeah, yeah.
And Muta says, just leave the hair. But if I leave my hair, I'm going to have one lock and it's going to grow there. And I'm pretty sure I won't be a newsreader with that.
and instead of having many dangly locks, you'll have one or two really fat, wide.
I'll probably have just one huge, big, fat dreadlock growing somewhere there.
What do they call them? Patty or something like that. A natty.
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 Yes.
That's what they call them, isn't it? Yeah.
So I wonder if you're interested in seeing what can happen to your hair if you just let your locks go.
Exactly.
Just let them go.
You just do what we just said. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. The longest locks ever in the world. Here we go.
All right. Okay.
Some women dream of having long flowing hair, but here in Atlanta, Georgia, things have got a little out of control. Meet Asha Mandela, who has the world's longest dreadlocks.
A lot of people refer to me as the Black Rapunzel. They refer to me as a legend. They refer to me as the ninth wonder of the world. People tell me all the time that I inspire them.
50-year-old Asha began growing her hair in her 20s in a spiritual quest to change her life.
I started growing my hair 25 years ago. I started having certain dreams and visions about changing my lifestyle and everything about my way of life.
But her controversial decision didn't please everyone.
When I told my mom I was going to grow locks, she said, after I groomed your hair so nice with grease and all those things, this is what you want to do with the nice curls.
Eventually winning her family over, Asha then shot to fame in 2009 when her dreadlocks, which at the time measured 19 feet 6 inches, won a Guinness World Record. Over the years, Asha's hair has grown even longer.
Oh my God, we actually ran out of tape. This is crazy. And this measure tape is 25 feet long.
Amazingly, one strand of hair has exceeded all expectations.
55 feet 7 inches. Oh my God, I don't believe this. I'm sweating. This is too much.
And it's not just the length of Asha's hair that's extreme. Weighing 39 pounds, her locks are so heavy she has to carry them in a basket on her back.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
And that's dry.
However, Asha's hair could be causing some serious side effects.
The doctors seem to think that I have a curvature of my spine, and it's the length and the weight of my hair that's making me curve more than I should. I've had doctors say to me that my neck has collapsed at the back and that I need to be careful. I can start having spasms and stuff in my spine and probably be paralyzed.
It may be record-breaking, but Asha's hair presents her with significant challenges, especially when it comes to washing it.
I wash my hair once a week. I used to wash it like 3 times a week, and I was told that it's too much.
Once washed, it can take up to 2 days to dry. But the demands of her hair haven't caused problems in one area, her love life.
A lot of men out there are crazy for women with long hair. My hair has never posed a problem with intimacy. I think it adds a little spice onto it.
Despite the warnings, Asha is planning to keep on growing her hair.
When I first started, it was more of a spiritual journey. It wasn't anything to do with a fad or style and fashion. After 25 years of growth, my hair has really become part of me. And I feel like if I ever cut my hair, I'd be really taking away my life.
Cool, blimey. Can you imagine if she ever got dandruff? Good grief. Imagine that.
Well, she'd wash it and then treat it and then it would go.
Yeah. But imagine,
But her locks, thank goodness, are quite small. They're quite thin.
They're thin, yeah.
Because if they were my thickness, she couldn't have them that long.
Well,
really.
the narrator pointed out about the fact that it's altered the shape of her curvature of her spine. And I was thinking that I know I don't have locks, but in the past I have. Before I met you, I had kind of longer hair, and I felt the weight of it. I felt the extra
well, I know
weight.
I feel the weight of this. If I want to lose weight, I cut off my hair. I know I got something going on in my neck that shouldn't be there, and that's because of the weight of my hair. I know that.
Exactly.
Uh,
And
Donna has a good question. She says at the start of the segment, Rapunzel came to mind. I wondered if she had locks. I think that was locks too. Because Donna hair doesn't grow that long unless it's locked. That's what I think. Real life Rapunzel. Go on. Yeah. But
wow.
did you like Asha Mandela's looks and feel and hair?
Well, I like the way it looked. Is it, if you were to ask me, is it a bit extreme to let your hair grow that long? I would definitely say yes. The fact that she has to put them in a bag at the back and or carry them like this, or have a towel so she's standing up, the locks don't, on something, on a clean surface and things. I mean, can you imagine the day-to-day struggle almost to try and keep it's all about the locks. Yeah.
It's a full-time job, 24/7. And I mean, how on earth can she sleep? I mean, I know I have trouble sleeping. This, you should know, is all my hair on top. This is why it's this length. It's twice
Right.
this length, my hair. So when I sleep, I have to make this little ridge behind my pillow to just chuck my hair in. But she can't do that.
I no idea. How does she sleep? That's a good question. I mean,
Maybe
go on.
maybe she makes a hammock out of her hair and then lies in it.
Well, she's certainly got enough of it. It was definitely, it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
Sleeping on your own hair is a hammock. Yeah.
There are very good things about dreads, though. I know people who are losing their hair at a fast pace, and who started locks and who now have a full head of hair again, because all this combing that people do and this constant conditioning and this constant blow drying, it just kills your hair. I'm sure of that. And
Well, I
another
think
thing,
shampoo.
if
Shampoo.
shampoo,
Go on.
yes. Yeah, and another thing is, everybody loses at about 100 hairs every day, but they remain within my locks, so that's why it grows. It goes bigger and bigger. So that's my advice to people who think their hair is thinning out. I have a friend who was rapidly going bald, and she started locks, and now she's got a full head of hair too. So.
Right. And your late sister, she had locks as well, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Aisha did. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I really have nothing more to say unless you have any questions on this dreadlocks topic, DJ, or
No,
somebody watching.
I think one thing to note is that is going back to how you started it with a picture of Bob Marley. It is not what this topic, what you've done today is expunge the myth, so to speak, that it's all about Rasta and reggae and yes, Bob Marley made it a fashion thing to the world.
He introduced it to the world at large.
He introduced it to the world at large, but locks have been around a lot longer, for centuries, ancient. We said Neanderthal times, from the beginning of time.
And maybe we've even debunked the myth that you don't wash your dreadlocks. Hippie people with dreadlocks, that's not the way to do it. Just wash your dirty, dirty locks, because we can smell you from miles.
Well, how do they do it? I think a lot of the Rastas here in Jamaica, they will go to an actual falls to rinse
they go to the river
but some of them actually use aloe vera as well.
Yeah, but they do that first to get rid of the dandruff, and then they wash it.
Right.
But
yeah,
it's only white hippie people with dreadlocks who think you don't wash your hair. It's disgusting. Wash your hair.
Well,
smell.
But I was about to say I had a boss once in one of my firms. He was white and he had dreadlocks, but sometimes you could tell he hadn't washed his hair for quite a while because of the stench.
Oh, and then you get all this buildup in your hair, and then it's disgusting. Just wash your hair, people.
You probably end up with maggots and things like that.
Yeah, and cockroaches living if you got really thick locks.
No, I'm serious. Yeah. Nasty.
it's a good method of keeping away fleas and lice, though, because they don't like bundled hair. So
Okay.
that's okay.
Oh,
All
that's
right,
interesting.
that's yeah, it is. There's so much to say and think about, but I can't come up with anything else unless you have another question or remark, or anybody watching us. Any last things you want to say to us, people watching? No? I guess that's it then, DJ, for today, right?
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
tell the
Thank
people
you.
that we'll be back next week, which is October the 4th. We'll be doing another Wenzzzday Ting. No idea what we'll be talking about then, but do drop us a line if you have a topic that you'd like us to discuss. And when you do so, let us know if you are willing and able to join us in the studio and chat with us about your topic. Could be anything, as long as it's something that, you know, resonates with current events a little. Like, it needs to be interesting to many people. That's what I'm trying to say. So let us know if you have a topic, and if you don't, just join us again next week on October the 4th at 9 o'clock Central European time. What time is that in your time zone?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. in Jamaica time and all of that. So
Thank you, Rosalind.
thank you, Ross. Thank you, Donna, for joining. Thank you, all the other
Thank you,
people I
Donna.
see online who are being very quiet. Thank you, DJ. I had fun today, and
Me too. Thank you, Poca.
I think I'm gonna go watch some gymnastics, I guess.
I thought you were going to say, I think I'm going to go and wash your locks.
No, I did that Sunday, so I'm
All right.
up for, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.